Hey, what's up guys, Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another future match commentary on the channel today. So this is going to be round 1 of the 9th edition for my online Discord tournament, and this is actually going on currently right now and started in the middle of May, so this is a pre-Lightning Overdrive tournament, just wanted to mention that. But this is going to be a matchup here between Ushada on pure Dragunities versus Refizio on Mekk-Knight Invoked with a heavier emphasis on the Mekk-Knight World Legacy package. So pretty cool matchup here, and if you guys do want to go ahead and check out the Discord server to keep posted on any signups for the next tournament, or just want to watch any of the ongoing matches, feel free to find the Discord server link in the description box below as usual. The next tournament is probably not going to be any sooner than the ban list, whenever that might drop, just because I don't want to start a tournament at the end of June and then have the ban list drop midway, and then nobody's going to care about the format anymore, which is understandable. But yeah, just want to mention that as well. But anyways, let's get started with this matchup here without any further ado. So it looks like we're going to see the Mekk-Knight Invoked player winning the RPS, and they're going to choose to go first here. So the opening hand for Mekk-Knight Invoked going first is going to be World Legacy Secret, Terraforming, Dark Ruler No More, Girsu, and World Legacy Succession. So you can see with the World Legacy cards, there is a bit of a higher emphasis on cards like Morningstar and Lib here. But yeah, you can see as well there's Terraforming for Meltdown, which leads into Alistair, obviously. So couple of conflicting normal summons, but it is nice to have just starter every single turn, which makes sense. Dark Rule in the main deck as well, as we see, which is it was definitely a more popular trend earlier in the format, which is kind of reflective of when this matchup happened, but still a pretty decent choice against like certain combo decks. And then the opening hand for Dragunity going second is going to be Cyframe Gear Gamma, Mist Valley Baby Rock, Dragunity Remus, Dragon Ravine, and Dark Ruler of his own. So both players actually main decking this card, which is pretty noteworthy. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this deck. You can refer to Phoenix Flare X for that. Go ahead and check out his channel. I'll have that link in the description below if you want to check out some cool Dragunity stuff. But this hand, from what I can tell, is pretty solid. Remus being one of the best starters of the deck. You already have Ravine access, so Romulus can go and search like additional extenders, which normally you would be able to anyways if you start off with Remus. Plus there's Gamma to stop Girsu, which is pretty important. So we're going to see an awesome of Girsu, and they're actually going to let that go through. So you're going to send a copy of the World Legacy World Armor. So maybe holding this for a different point in the combo. Girsu effect to summon tokens is going to be negated here by the Gamma. So that's a pretty interesting choice. I kind of wonder what the motivation is for that. Maybe he just wants more information on his opponent's deck, which makes sense because now he knows it's not necessarily just Orcust. So getting more info there, which is decent, but it also did turn on the copy of World Legacy Secret here. So that's kind of important to note. And that can grab another search for the World Armor. But that's going to definitely put a stop to the combo for sure. Going to set the secret and then pass. We're going to see a top decked Phalanx for turn. So they're going to activate the Ravine and then going to pitch the Remus actually. So that's going to search for a copy of the Legatus. So going to then activate the Legatus in hand. That's going to summon itself. And then Remus affecting Graveyard, since he controls a Dragunity monster now, gets to summon itself back from the graveyard. And then those two are going to be synchroned away for a copy of the Gay Durg. And then that effect is going to be activated for a copy of Senatus. And then that gets to also pitch the Baby Rock, summoning itself. So Baby Rock gets to bring itself back from graveyard, and then those two are going to be synchroned away for a copy of Crystal Wing. So it's nice to have insurance before you commit to one of your biggest normal summons. So going to go and normal summon the Senatus, and then use the effect pitching the Phalanx. That's going to equip the Cruise from deck. And then Cruise effect to unequip itself, and then going to go and synchro off for a copy of Barca. Cruise can be treated as a level 4 monster for a synchro summon, which is why it can be used here. But Barca effect on summon gets to equip any number of Dragunities, or Dragon Dragunities, I should say. And basically that just functions as a soul charge, because these can just unequip themselves, get more bodies on the field. So Cruise and Phalanx get to unequip themselves before link summoning a copy of the Romulus here. So that gets a search. I wonder what the search pool is. I imagine you're playing Glow, which is their new Rhoda card. I wonder if they still play Divine Lance. That'd be interesting. Not really sure what the lists currently look like. But Glow is going to be added from deck to hand here, which is another basically searcher for level 5 or higher Dragunities. So that's going to be searching a copy of Armor Mistleton here. So we're going to go and send the Barca away for the Mistleton, and then that's going to go and activate its effect to summon out Gay Durg. And then Glow in Graveyard gets to banish itself to summon basically an equipped Dragunity monster. So that is going to bring back the Gardner, which gets to activate its effect again because it's not a hard once per turn. So we're going to add Zephyros and then pitch it. And then going to overlay for the Heretic Dragon King of Atum, which is a card we haven't seen in a while, but a lot easier to make, I'd imagine, with all the new support. So this, of course, lets you special summon any dragon from your deck. So it's the OG LP, but just a lot harder to make. And then that's going to summon out the Leviathan. And then Leviathan is also another extender, so that's going to equip the Cruz from the graveyard on summon. And then Cruz gets to activate its effect to bring itself back again. We're going to see Zephyros bounty the Ravine, that's going to summon itself. There's so many extenders here. Forgot to take the 400 damage, but probably shouldn't matter here. Barca is going to go and be summoned again, which is also not hard once per turn, similar to the Gardner. So that's going to go and equip the Cruz, the Mistletoe, and the Phalanx. Cruz to unequip itself, we've seen it like 3 times this turn, and then going to go for Guard Dragon Pisty, and then going to link summon into a copy of Triple Burst, and then Pisty is going to bring back the Gardner, and I think Rafizio has seen enough here, so it's going to choose to go into game number 2 here, saying that he misread Triple Burst. Curious as to what that is about, because this does piercing and also lets you negate stuff in damage step. Not really sure how that would have interfered with the set World Elixir Secret. You should have just still been able to activate it. So I'm curious as to what this statement means right here. But anyways, we're going to go and move on to game number 2 here. And we're going to see Invoked Mekk-Knight go first again. If you guys are enjoying this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more commentary similar to this. But the opening hand for Mekk-Knight Invoked going first again is going to be World Elixir's Memory, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Alistair, Purple, and Guister. So drawing both the normal summons again, which is not great, in addition to the Ferocious Dragon with the deadly attack. So also on Dragoon stuff, which is pretty noteworthy. But the hand definitely is playable for sure. And then the opening hand for Dragunity going second again is going to be Zephyros, Pot of Prosperity, Armagram, Remus, and a Psychic Soldier that rides into battle against security forces on Currents of Lightning using an autonomic amplifier called Psyframe. So interesting to see Prosperity in this deck for sure. I do wonder how tight the extra deck is or how needed all the resources are. I don't imagine you go through everything in one turn, but that was a pretty extensive combo that we saw from last time. So this card, I'm not sure if it's standard in the deck. Again, I can't really comment on what the staple Dragunity lists look like. But this hand seems pretty decent, although there's no dedicated go second cards to stop any of what the opponent's going to do here. So he's going to start with a copy of Alistair the Invoker, normal summon, of course. That's going to go for Invocation. So interesting that he chose to go for Alistair this time, where last game he chose to go for the Guister play. But maybe he wants to go for just Hcabe here to ensure that he has a negation. I mean, both cards lose the gamma regardless. Going to go for the Secure Gardner, and then going to summon out Purple here. Purple effect is going to go and target itself to summon out Indigo, or search Indigo rather, and then that's going to be summoned to the field. Invocation is going to go and banish the Secure Gardner as well as the Alistair. That's going to summon out Hcabe. And then Invocation Engrave is going to recycle Alistair. And then from here, we're going to see a copy of World Elixir's Memory. So that's going to summon out a copy of Red Moon, locking him into Mekk-Knights. And then going to go for a copy of the Morningstar. And then Morningstar is going to pitch Guister. So that's also maybe another reason is that this left the other normal summon in the hand to be able to pitch off this Morningstar if he thought about this combo that far in advance, which I imagine he did. So going to go for World Elixir's Secret off of that. And then going to go and set it and pass. So this is definitely pretty good. Has a Hcabe, which can only negate monsters right now, but still pretty decent, as well as multiple negations off of Secret. So we are going to see Phalanx being drawn for turn. That's actually 2 games in a row here. Main phase is going to activate Pot of Prosperity. That's going to banish 3. I do actually want to see what these are. So it's going to be Halqifibrax, Seal, and Barca. We saw at least 2 Barca from last game, so I do wonder if they're on 3 or on just 2. But yeah. Oh, I also wonder if he's playing the Vajrayana. I wonder if that's still a part of the list, or people just cut it because it's not really needed anymore. I can imagine that being the case. But we are going to see Pankratops being picked up off of those Prosperity Excavations. So that's going to be a nice trade with Hcabe at the very least. Going to go for Pankratops here, and then going to go and try and attack into the World Elixir Secret, into the Morningstar, but that's going to be met with a Secret. Got a little ahead of myself there. We're going to go for Pankratops here. That's going to try and pop the Secret, but Hcabe is going to negate that. And then this resolves, of course, bringing back the Indigo Eclipse. So, end of battle phase, going to go for Remus here. So that's going to pitch itself to search a copy of the Ravine. And then going to go for the Ravine effect. That's going to pitch Driver, which is always nice. And then going to search for Senators. So going for a bit of a different route than last time. And then here we're going to see Senators being a normal summon. That's going to pitch the Phalanx, which is pretty familiar. And that's going to go and equip Kus from the deck. And then Kus gets to unequip itself. Going to synchro off for a copy of Gay Dirge. So choosing not to go for Barca here. Yeah, just going to go for the Gay Dirge here. That's going to go and add a copy of Legatus. So doing this in a bit of a different order. And then we can pitch Zephyros as well, which is quite nice. And then going to be thinking, going to activate the Zephyros. It's going to bounce the Ravine, summoning itself. Hey, it took the 400 this time. That's good. Going to go for Ravine, and then that's going to pitch the Gram. And then going to go and send Tempest. Gram is basically like another Dragon Ruler, so like we see effectively 2 Dragon Rulers. Basically, it can summon itself from hand to grave by bashing 2 dragons and or winged beasts from grave. So just another extender. Also has a nice negation effect, which is cool. Third effect, I don't imagine comes up, but I mean, maybe it could. We are going to see Gram being activated, banishing Tempest and Senators, so that's going to summon itself. So Tempest gets to activate here as well. It's Gram, so probably Gram chilling too. Oh, he chose not to activate Tempest, or maybe he forgot. Maybe there's a reason why you don't activate Tempest here. Trying to think here. Maybe you just don't need any other extenders. I'm not actually entirely sure. Let me know in the comments if there's a reason as to why this Tempest was not used. Again, I'm not an expert, so I would be glad to be educated on this deck for sure, because it's very cool to watch. But Remus is going to be used. That's going to go and summon itself back. And then going to go and link summon. Oh, looks like he banished his target. So I think he was going to go for Hcabe here. But yeah, that's not going to be the case. And wow, that's going to be a pass. So this board is not looking very strong here. So I wonder like what that would have gone into. Maybe you summon another copy of Kus, because Hcabe just says that the monster you summon can't activate its effects. But of course, Kus is just a condition that applies to itself when used for Synchro Summon. So like maybe you can go for like Barca with the Zephyros after you go for like Hcabe, and then like equip back like 3. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference if that's the play that they were going for. And I guess at this point the Legatus wouldn't really do anything. So ouch, that's not really going to be too great here. Just no interruptions from what I can tell at least. We're going to see a top deck Meltdown followed by a standby phase purple return. Going to go for the Meltdown here. That's going to go and grab Alistair. And then going to normal summon Alistair. That's going to let him grab Invocation from deck to hand. And then going to switch monsters to attack position before link summon a copy of Lib the World Key Blade Master. So there is the Memory Engrave, but no monster to be able to activate the card this turn. It's probably not going for like Succession. Yeah, just going to choose to go for Whispers. And then going to link off for a copy of Avamax, so that allows the Lib to trigger while putting a pretty tough boss monster on the field to out. So Remus gets banished because of its effect. And then, yeah, that's just going to be a concession. So, wow, pretty interesting. So the Hcabe definitely was important there. I do wonder again, like how common Prosperity is in this deck. If it is worth it to play, like if it's standard. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I can't really comment too much. So I will, withhold any judgment. But we're gonna move into game 3 here, where it looks like Dragunity is gonna start things off here, and their opening hand going first is going to be Kus, Cosmic Cyclone, Solemn Judgment, Tempest, and Remus. So definitely a pretty good hand, I would say. I mean, Remus by itself, I feel like does a lot. So I'm curious as to what it can accomplish with Kus, as well as Tempest here, as far as engine cards are concerned. Also has some nice defense to back things up. And then the opening hand for Mekk-Knight Invoked going second is going to be Red Eyes Black Dragon, Infinite Impermanence, Blue Sky Purple, and the Alistair. So drawing Red Eyes 2 games in a row is not really what you want to see. But there is a hand trap. I wonder when it's going to be used, and whether or not we can see the Dragunity deck play past it. So Remus is going to be activated in hand to pitch itself. That's going to search for a copy of Ravine. And then Ravine going to be activated. That's going to pitch Kus to search for a copy of Phalanx. And then Tempest is going to be activated here. That's going to... Oh, pitch itself. Okay, using the I always forget about the discard effect for some reason. Pitching itself and a wind monster to add a dragon monster from deck to hand. So it's gonna add Odd Ice Revolution Dragon. Well, I just don't see that effect come up super often, but here we go. I didn't play in Dragon Ruler format, by the way, so that's why. But just gonna set 2 and pass. Interesting. So I feel like they definitely could have done a lot more, but just chose not to. Probably to like play around Mekk-Knights. Maybe just assuming Solemn Judgment and Cosmic will be enough. Perhaps a bit risky, but here we go. So we're going to see Meltdown being activated. That's going to grab a copy of Alistair. So choosing not to Cosmic this, which would have been punished by the hard drawn Alistair already. So good to hold off on it. They're going to normal summon Alistair, and then that's going to immediately be Judgmented. And then going to go and set Imperm, and then going to use Cosmic there just to get rid of the column. And that's going to be a pass. So not only did that deny the setup of both engines, but it also got rid of the only interruption on the plays. So yeah, there's actually just going to be no way to stop this Dragunity combo now. I'm going to go to main phase 1. We're going to see Ravine being activated, pitching Prosperity. So this will get all the way there. Citrine Ducks, which actually is a card that used to be like super critical for the deck. But I feel like a lot of people have pivoted towards like obviously the new support, but also like Senatus, which helps you get set up for your Dragunity tuners by itself. But Phalanx gets to be equipped here, and then going to go and summon itself. Those two are going to be synchroned away for the Gay Dirge. That's going to go and activate its effect to add a copy of Baby Rock and then pitch it. And then that's going to bring itself back, of course, from the grave. Those two are then going to be synchroned away for a copy of the Crystal Wing before we're going to see an activation of Revolution Dragon in the scale, which gets you a reborn of any basically extra deck dragon type besides Lynx. So this can go and bring back the Gay Dirge. And it doesn't negate its effects or anything, so we're going to go and see the activation of it. That's going to go for another copy of Baby Rock. And then Baby Rock gets pitched. That's going to activate its effect, summon itself back, and then we can go for Barca here. Or we can go for Romulus. Yeah, that makes more sense. So yeah, going to go for Romulus here. That's going to go for the copy of Glow. And then we can Glow here for perhaps a Mistleton again. Yep. And then we're going to go and send away the Romulus for the Mistleton. And the Mistleton gets to bring back the Gay Dirge. And then Glow gets to go and unequip it. And then Gay Dirge gets to go for maybe a Zephyrs this time around. All right, I'm starting to get a little bit familiar with these plays, which is good. I'm going to overlay for a Tomb here, and then a Tomb gets to summon out probably the Leviathan if we saw anything from game 1. So Leviathan gets to go and equip the Phalanx, and then Phalanx unequip itself, and then going to go for a Link Summon of Hcabe, and then that effect gets to be activated, so that's going to go for the Koos. Zephyrs gets to go and bounce the Ravine. And hey, this is what I mentioned last time. The Koos doesn't activate, so we get to go for Barca. Yeah, so that's definitely the play that they were going for last time, but they banished it off the Prosperity. So going to go for 4 equips. That is a lot of monsters. Going to unequip 1 Koos and go for Pisty. Going to unequip a second copy and then go for a copy of... Oh my gosh. I'm going to try and pronounce this card as best as I can. A Red Bear... I actually do not know how to pronounce this card. Somebody please let me know, because I'm definitely mispronouncing this. So yeah, I would like to know the proper pronunciation of this. But let's see. This card reads, when your opponent activates a monster effect... Oh, hopefully you guys couldn't hear that. You can banish 1 Dragunity monster from your graveyard and negate the activation if you do banish that card. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calc, you can banish it. If the single summon card and its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. Alright, so this is like a big boss monster. And that's just going to be a concession right there. So yeah, I had nothing here. I'm going to show off the hand of, pretty much just all Mekk-Knights and Alistairs, which, were, shut down completely actually just by these 2 cards. So really well timed to hold off and to not commit and just wait for the next turn, which is pretty good for sure. But yeah, this deck was really cool to watch. There's also like Phalanx unequip itself. Like we can maybe go for Triple Burst and then like go Pisty. We didn't even see LP a single time. So hey, that's pretty cool. This deck definitely doesn't need LP, as we saw. Like it got all of its engine cards started, just by the Dragunity stuff, by Gay Dirge and by everything else. So yeah, it's cool to see that LP isn't needed because the Tomb is functionally the LP, so that's nice. But yeah, definitely a solid matchup here for sure. this is cool to kind of just showcase off the Dragunity deck, just because you know, it's something that I've been wanting to watch a little bit, but I haven't really gotten the chance to sit down and learn the cards. So this is kind of a good experience for me as well. So again, if you guys do want to have any comments down below as to, you know, things to kind of keep in mind when, you know, watching this deck or casting it or whatever, that would be greatly appreciated because I'm always here to learn. So that is good for that purpose. But we're going to wrap up the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me with the links in the description as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.